they resist. And
I'm going to give you 2 of the Proverbs so they go back to back. But go ahead and read that one.
It was Proverbs 22 and
22 and 6.
22 and 6. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go.
Right. The only way that you should train up your child is after following the law, statutes, and commandments.
And if you don't do that, that's why the one verse told you how your kid's gonna be. The 2 Timothy did that.
Yeah. And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Right. Meaning you're gonna have it embedded in his mind, this truth. So he ain't gonna know what to do but follow after the law, statutes, and commandments.
He ain't gonna be one to use drugs, be a whoremonger, worship Satan, sign agreements with Satan and shit, sign contracts and shit like that. Let women rule over him and all that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Love the other nations and shit like that.
Jump to verse 15.
This is Proverbs chapter 22 verse 15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
Right. When a child is at his
When you're a child, you just got to say child.
Right.
Because all the way from 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, even 15.
Right.
Even 15, you got to give them a little leeway that they going to goof off and play.
Right.
Yeah.
All the way from 1 all the way to 15, he going to goof off and play.
Exactly.
That's why I don't be on Lil John like a military drill sergeant. Because I know he going to goof off and play. I'm going to catch him laughing and joking and playing off with his buddies when he's supposed to been doing what he's supposed to do. So I just overlook it like,
But the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
Right, but it comes a point where me going, overlooking shit ain't always that. I got to whoop this nigga.
Right.
It comes to a point with your kid where you actually got to whoop him. That's why I say, but the rod of reproof will drive it far from them. So if your kid keep being a jackass, ass whooping time.
Exactly.
That's what the Bible is telling your black ass.
Right, and that ain't even good. That's not happening.
And that's why these young 15, 16-year-olds running around the house telling their parents to whatever. And slamming their doors and shit. And talking on the phone talking about, I'm doing my homework, but they on Facebook. And then when you go in their room and they tell you they on their homework, you can actually look at the bottom tab and see the Facebook tab opened up right next to the homework tab.
I saw a thing on YouTube, I think last week. It was a girl trying to do the little what's it called that they put on what you got on your computer? What? That you can see someone.
Oh,
webcam.
Webcam.
Right. This little girl had the webcam trying to strip and get naked on the webcam. And her mama was on Skype. And her mama kept on knocking on the door and then bust in on the door on their ass and shit. And they was fighting together.
Okay, you go outside.
Broke the
I'm finna walk back that way in about 20 minutes.
What the fuck they get?
Alright.
Go ahead,
that's it.
That's it? Yes. Okay, go Proverbs 29 and 15.
This is Proverbs chapter 29 verse 15. The rod and reproof give wisdom.
Right. You don't just whoop your goddamn kid, you fucking niggas.
Right.
I used to get a whooping like that with no understanding.
Exactly.
You don't just whoop your kid and say, oh, well, that's going to correct him for him to understand what's going on. Whooping with while you whooping them and then instruction, motherfucker.
But a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame.
Right, bring his mother to shame is if he don't get that whooping. You bring his mother to shame by being, like you said, a whoremonger or selling drugs or being in gangs.
Cursing his mother. He don't listen to his mother.
Right, he the type of motherfucker who the nigga mama make $200,000 a year drive a Benz and everything, but he caught with the niggas who robbed the bank.
I know somebody like that too in college. His name's Skylar Winfield.
Yeah.
Had it made.
Had it made and did some dumbass shit. Why? Because he never got his ass whooped when he was young. To know, okay, I know to do shit, but I know when to be like, let me stop, because my mama and them don't play that shit. My daddy gonna whoop my ass behind this shit.
That's it.
That's it? Okay. 19 and 18 Proverbs. And then you go
chapter 19, verse 18?
Proverbs 19, 18. Yep.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 18. Chasten thy son while there is hope.
Right, chasten your son while there is hope before he get too far in the world. Because once, in this society, once you get too far in the world, ain't no coming back.
Basically, meaning when he young.
Exactly.
That's all that mean is you start to discipline when he young. Yeah. You don't wait to talk about, well, He don't really
15,
understand
yeah.
what he doing. Right, you
Exactly.
right, 15.
Right.
Yeah.
You start that shit at 7. At 5 years old, they verbally supposed to start getting talked to. From 3 to 5, you verbal with the tone of your voice is like the hand.
Right.
Your tone of your voice is basically equally to your hand when they 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Once they get 6 to 8, it's the verbal of your tone, and then you come up with little mechanisms and little paps. You do little paps on the hand, little paps on the head, the stern look, and the boy don't play with me move. And you start making him like sit idle, because kids don't like to sit down idle when they used to running.
Yeah.
That's like a form of discipline, because he know now he's stuck. He got to just sit here.
But you got parents that spoil their children, and that spoil leads to them children disrespecting them.
Exactly.
Their parents.
Exactly.
Slamming doors.
It starts there. It starts there. Keep going. It start with the no, with the slamming the doors, the laying on the ground,
Right.
the acting out in public.
Edomite kids in the
Tantrum.
store.
Not just Edomites. That shit is over with. Jake doing that same shit now.
Yeah.
It used to be an Edomite thing damn near 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But this last generation and a half came full force into this white people ideology. Full force into it.
Just like
Charmy mama fucking keep dogs and everything, cuz don't clean her house, don't do nothing. Don't no black woman live like that.
No.
Where she, do you know she just got evicted out her last house because of the dogs and how they smell?
You don't have dogs staying with you.
right, that's that Edomite shit.
And let not thy soul spare for his crying.
Right, motherfucker, you halfway hit him, he started crying and you stop. Talking about you apologizing to him. He just did something to deserve an ass whooping. You whoop him and then you go in the room and apologize and take nigga go get some Jordans.
That's what my brother do.
Yep.
That's exactly what my brother do. What you mind? He's strict.
But if our parents had these scriptures,
Yeah.
they wouldn't go for that. Because they'll know the Lord gave them a one-up on your fake ass. The Lord already told me your ass was going to start crying. That's why. So as soon as you do it, I'm going to actually go get the Bible and then come and teach you that the Lord said you was going to cry and I don't supposed to give a fuck. And then tell you be all right and keep going.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, get that Psalms.
All right, Psalms 119 and 9. It says, "Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto, according to thy word."
Which the scriptures, right? The scriptures is this word, which ultimately is always following after the law, statutes, commandments. Because the laws is gonna tell you how do you cleanse your ways, how do you do this, how do you do that. Right.
"With my whole heart have I sought thee. O let me not wander from thy commandments."
Right, there you go. That's it. Give me 1 Timothy 4 and 12. Take it to 16. Proverbs 23 and 22. Take that to 25.
1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity.
Right, when you first come into to getting this truth, you got to come in as being, your youth to get the full understanding. Most of all, read that
Basically,
back up
yeah. I'm gonna start. Basically, I'm gonna do it. Then you go ahead. Basically, what it's saying is, when you're a young man, you're supposed to come into this and lead by example of being a young man, because this world teaches when you're young, you're supposed to do things and experience things and
Rock your teeth out, eat as much candy as you want.
right.
No.
Do what I will because I'm young
Right.
and I only live once.
Exactly.
But the Lord said that when you're young, you're supposed to be an example of Him.
Exactly.
Preserve yourself.
All right, this is 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth.
Right. So when you actually doing what the world told you, you actually despising your youth. Because when you're in your youth, you at your strength with your mental capacity, with your physical capacity, and your spirit and disciplining yourself. Because it's harder to discipline yourself when you're young because you have all these forces pulling on you.
All this flesh.
Right. So you have to, if you can discipline that when you're young, when you get older,
That ain't shit.
you're going to stay away from it. That's what the last scripture, train up a child in a way. And when he get older, you ain't got to worry about him talking about, oh, I can't control drinking. I can't control smoking.
Right.
I can't control women.
Yeah.
See how right now y'all actually going through that? Let me learn how to control myself with these women. Let me control myself with this drinking. Let me control myself with my crib. Let me discipline myself with my money and the revenue I got coming in. So if y'all young men doing that, how the fuck y'all think y'all gonna be when y'all get my age?
Right.
Motherfuckers gonna think y'all straight just horrible. Like man, he don't do shit. He just all like just straight because y'all got 10 years practice of this shit. Fasting and all kind of shit. No, I'm not eating. I don't want to eat. Motherfuckers gonna think y'all crazy.
But be thou an example of the believers